All right, I'm asking Akasha and my guides and my higher self, what is important for me to focus on today for the collective? All right, look at this. 6 of Wands, 9 of Cups. I feel like it's time to celebrate. It's time to enjoy everything around you, within you, where you're currently at in life at this time. I feel like this is you focusing on your hopes and dreams and not what you don't want, but focusing on what you do want. Okay, I feel like victory is yours, success is yours, and you're being seen and recognized as well. So there could be a lot of eyes on you at this time. I feel like you rose to the challenge and you've accomplished something major, and you should be really proud of yourself. And I'm getting like you're receiving the support that you need, maybe even recognition. So that's awesome. Let's get into it. The Fool. Right. And then we have the 5 of Wands. Okay, let's see what the third card is. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, there was a lot of growth here. I feel like something that might have been unfinished business is now finished. And something ended so that something new can begin. And there's this like lightheartedness, this seeing things as possible, walking with spirit, right? Walking with source, having access to things from a higher perspective, gained a new outlook, kind of freed yourself from any burdens of the past. Like you're carrying light weight and you're walking in the light. There might have been a bit of a scurry, like, you know, kung fu fighting. I feel like people, you know, there might have been some kung fu fighting going on, trying to prevent this closure from happening here. Okay, King of Swords energy. And then we have a 5 of Swords, an Empress. Yeah, someone definitely tried to prevent you from moving on and closing a chapter, a cycle, maybe even a contract with them. Soul contract here. I feel like though the soul contract did what it needed to do, which was to close a karmic cycle and start off new, possibly a timeline, new cycle here. 5 of Swords is telling me like we're picking up on some, you know, some shit slinging. I'm going to be honest. Okay. I feel like there might have been a higher level commitment here. And I feel like somebody destroyed the other person, as a result of what's been going on behind the scenes here. 5-5 here. I wouldn't say this is the best energy. I wouldn't say that I would trust this energy. Okay. After what they've done with others against you. So, you know, you have every right to, you know, call in your spiritual team. I feel like you understand that there's something bigger playing out here, and you're trusting yourself and your faith in the situations as it relates to your life, your physical experience here as the Empress or Emperor. Flip and switch it. I feel like you've overcome what might have been set out to, you know, stop you. I'm getting you're victorious in the matter. You have the support. Okay, I feel like there's a spiritual lesson or lessons playing out here. King of Pentacles. Okay. There's possibly, let's see. There's, okay, so I was like, who's this King of Pentacles? And I'm getting the Knight of Wands. This is somebody new coming in, like on the horizon, on their way to you. Because there's this new opportunity, new start, closing of a cycle. And then we have Earth sign energy. Let's see. Strength card. The Moon card. Let's know what else. Page of Swords. Someone's watching the Empress. It landed on the Empress. Maybe it's like, you don't see them, but they see you. So it's almost like hidden. There's something like someone sees something, someone sees your light, okay? Maybe like you don't see your brightness, but other people do, or this person does. I feel like they're interested. There's something about this King of Pentacles. They're watching, maybe observing, looking into, investigating, possibly. The Strength card, I'm getting maybe you do something that requires some courage, or you show courage and strength, maybe even like will. Yeah, I'm getting like patience, right? Like balancing the earthly realm with the spiritual realm, you know, and having to kind of like have a blended experience here. It can be a bit difficult. So I feel like, you know, there's a bit of that here. Two of Cups. All right, so there's some sort of dynamic here, relationship. Maybe it's something that is like this higher calling. I'm getting like higher calling. There's something when it relates to like belief systems here. Two of Cups, so I guess like this would be in religion or spiritually speaking, or just like you kind of have the same type of feeling about like a traditional relationship, traditional life, you know, traditional commitment, maybe how you handle things in life. There's a bit of alignment here. So they're very compatible is what I'm getting. Two of Cups. Yeah, I feel like somebody may have tried to prevent you from having new love here and closing out a cycle with them. But I feel like the divine's involved and they don't have a say. All they can do is watch this new relationship come into fruition. Okay, it's divinely guided. Okay, these two will be divinely guided. This union, this commitment's divinely orchestrated. Okay, Page of Wands. Okay. Over on the Fool. There's something new being created or formed. There's information too. There's like some sort of interesting, yeah, look at Seven of Wands landed over the Empress and the Five of Swords. So I feel like there's some sort of like, not so fast. Like someone trying to like, you know, play their silly games. I feel like they'll be blocked. And there's like protection here, okay? As well as like protection against this as well. I feel like this is like unleashing a can of whoop ass if you really look at these two pictures. And the energy I'm picking up on is like, yeah, it's like, it's like I brought my bat too, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Maybe it's just like hitting things back over the fence, right? Interesting. Okay, so stuff might be returning back to sender here. We have Death and then the Wheel of Fortune. So that tells me there's defeat. Yep. And then I have Six of Swords. So yeah, there's this wanting to prevent somebody from moving towards peace and harmony. Okay. They may want to move towards you for peace and harmony. So there's a bit of like talking out of both sides of your mouth, right? You hate this person or you love this person. Like, which one is it? Because if you love them, you don't try to destroy them at the same time. Okay? Four of Pentacles, Five of Swords. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of holding on to the past. There's a lot of like abuse here and malicious intent, okay, to create some sort of instability here for somebody. All right, so I feel like someone's holding on to a bunch of stuff. And then as a result, it's like affected their own reality. So whatever they put out there negative towards you is now they're being affected by it. They're starting to experience the pinch, okay, right in the pockets. Okay, right where they were motivated in the first place was through the pockets. Look at Two of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, it's like what goes around comes around. That's exactly what's playing out. It's like, remember that song growing up, like, I'm rubber, you're glue, everything you say to me, you know, bounces off of me and sticks to you. It's like that. I remember saying that on the bus. Like, this is like child's play here. I feel like this is child's play, right? Temperance, earth angel energy, alchemy. Someone uses the energy and alchemizes it, uses it for the light, okay? Whatever they're needing to send love energy to, healing energy. There could be an energy healer here that is using the energy sent to help for a specific cause, right? There's something going on here with this energy. With justice playing out, I'd say, you know, there wasn't any retaliation. So, you know, justice is being served here. All right, everything was, you know, whatever was unbalanced is being balanced in the physical realm and the spiritual realm. Okay, here's the spiritual realm. Balance. This is the form of balance there. And then we have actual justice, right? So, yeah. Interesting. So it's like trusting the process in the universe because, like, it knows what it's doing. You know what I mean? Like, it knows what it's doing with the World card. I feel like you have also surrendered, right? I'm also getting, like, this is some wisdom and knowledge and you applying what you've learned and kind of evolving as a soul. It's beautiful. So good for you. Okay, what do we got? 9 of Cups. Yeah, look at hopes and dreams coming true. You being very patient for the hopes and dreams, right? I feel like you've been consistent, right? Here's the 4 of Wands, hopes and dreams coming true. So this very much could be some union that maybe, you know, you don't necessarily see coming, but it's kind of like, here's a little secret. We're going to tell you a little secret. Or you intuitively know this is like, you know, what's coming in for you, but you keep it quiet. Nobody knows. Let's see. The Sun card. Yeah, of course. Look at. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's definitely happiness, joy, success, love, oneness, unity, consciousness, Queen of Pentacles, okay? Stable, secure, abundant, being blessed so that they can bless others, right? They're an open receiver, okay? They're pure-hearted, and they ground that energy here. And they're meant to help others with whatever they have, and it depends. And they don't see abundance or have gratitude for simply material things, but they certainly help people in the material realm, right? I feel like there's this genuineness, this vitality, this oneness, right? Very strong connection here. And I'm getting like, this is like a union. This is a commitment. This is, you know, building something that is, you know, divinely inspired and guided. I feel like this might have been a dream of yours at one point, or you're dreaming about being in union with somebody who, you know, has the same, you know, intentions that you do, right? These are like matched intentions and a lot of love to give, right? It's like it's like I love everything in my life except for I would love to share it with somebody. It's that energy. So yeah, Queen of Pentacles, if that's you, or King of Pentacles over here. So there's a divine pair here in the physical. Heavy earth sign energy. We have the Knight of Swords in the bottom. Someone is probably going to have a lot to say about this. Oh, it's funny. But that's, you know, that's on them. Like, you don't care. Yeah, look, 3 of Swords. I feel like this heartbreak was exactly what you needed to know exactly what you want, which is the 10 of Cups, all right? You needed to know what you almost needed to understand, like, the polarity of the situation here, right? I feel like what you experienced was, you know, for evolution, okay, of your soul for sure, but as well as like your ancestral line, okay? I feel like you're bringing a lot of wisdom and knowledge here. You might be the witchy woo-woo in the family. You might be an outcast or somebody who kind of like is like wicked independent. So there could be a bit of that, right? Like you stand out on your own. You're very resourceful. You can pretty much handle yourself in any situation. And so that is intimidating, okay? People get jealous of stuff like that. And I feel like that might have been why somebody tried to, like, I don't know, sit you down. Maybe they wanted to sit you down, okay? Maybe they thought, like, you thought you were too much. Or maybe your light just irritated the shit out of them. And so they thought they would come after you and attack you. I feel like whoever's in this, you know, competition situation and, you know, having trouble, you know, in the emotions department, especially when it comes to like relationships, 3 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, you know, there's something gained out of this, okay? Someone used this heartache and pain to create something from it that's positive, okay? So the suffering wasn't for no reason, okay? The suffering was for growth, and the Page of Pentacles is like planting that seed. Even though you don't have all the answers or the receipts, your intuition is telling you there's something new here for you. Follow your instincts, okay? Follow your knowing, okay? Your inner knowing. There was, you know, someone who wanted to keep things confusing so that there wasn't clarity, but I feel like Queen of Swords energy, like you're going to pick up on it. You're going to know about it. You're going to talk about it. You're going to tell them what they can do about it. Like Queen of Swords is going to, you know, have some ideas, that's for sure. Strong communication, Emperor energy over here. So there could be someone, you know, who sees something that was made out of something that was difficult. So sometimes, you know, that's part of our purpose here, is to create something based on our own experiences in life, and using it to help others in this scenario. Okay, it's kind of like the energy you're putting out, it's time to receive, right? It's like time to receive. So I have these flipped on accident. Yeah. Okay. So this very much could be you, you know, really using something and creating it, and it maybe becomes successful. Maybe it's a business. Maybe it's like entrepreneur. Maybe it's helping. What you're doing is, you know, being a leader. You may have to be, you know, feminine, masculine energy, however you want to take that. This could also be somebody who's also in the business. Someone who's going to, like, maybe help with what you're trying to accomplish. I'm getting like this could be like a mentor or a partner or something like that. Star, this talks about like, 6 of Cups, like healing energy, Chariot, Page of Cups. So I feel like this is kind of like a friendship, some sort of kinship here. This is also new energy is what I'm getting. Here's the 6 of Cups. This is, you know, this kinship energy. It also can represent children. Okay, so I feel like maybe there's someone that came across you, and as a result, there could have been, I feel like there's like a run-in, or there might be a run-in or something like that. Like a serendipitous moment. And then you're like, oh yeah, hey, oh, all right, da-da-da. Okay, sure. And then I feel like there's this movement. There's forward movement. There's some sort of like, oh, you know, like some sort of opportunity here. I feel like there's remaining optimistic energy here. Let's see. I'm getting a bit of like, meeting somebody along your path and finding that you have a lot in common, and you could be friendly, right? Start off friendly, and then it might evolve into something a little bit more on the love side. Let's see what else we get. I feel like, yeah, and I'm getting like this is you being recognized too. So, you know, maybe it's something you do as a project, you work together, and then it evolves. They're like, let things play out naturally, okay? Stay open. And then we have the Magician and Judgment. Stay open. Look at this. Hi. Okay, this is what you're truly meant to be doing with one another, but you'll eventually figure that out. All right, right now, you know, let things play out naturally. We have like kind of Judgment. Things are transforming. Things are in movement. Things are wrapping up as well. So just kind of remain patient in the process. Confirming it's Lovers. Okay, so this is like continue to be open to receive divine guidance when it comes to your decision making, as well as understanding like this is a law of gender too. So it's like divine feminine and divine masculine. Okay, we have the Empress here. Okay, and the Emperor here. We have the King of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So there's like the spiritual aspect of this, right? Co-creating with the divine. Okay, there's a mission playing out here. Strong purpose, healer type energy here. Again, temperance and the Hierophant here. So there's a lot of interesting energy here. So, you know, it's like kind of like here's the spiritual aspects of it, and then here's the physical aspects of it, right? Of these two. And then we have, you know, the divine feminine, masculine, and the material realm. And then they birth something new, right? This is like birthing something new. They've gone through the death and rebirth process, right? We saw this awakening energy, right? So there's been a major transformation here for these energies that we're picking up, guys, in our collective here. Okay, so this is kind of like the evolution of their soul, and they're working through karmic patterns, and many of us resonate with a lot of this because we're doing the same things, right? A lot of us are working on ourselves, and so it's such a fascinating story, and I love talking to you guys about it. So keep up the comments. It's always fun to know where you guys are at, and I appreciate the support, and continue to focus on what you do want, all right? Because it's coming, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a good day.